country, or with Cuomo, this country is in recently probable at horrendous shape right now. It's not so much of a country. We're going to tackle on the main issues that solves at the large levels. So consider if someone marries one person, he marries 300 of they are nearly identicals. It will be just different with the name. So much of that would almost accomplish also without too much hazards. And recently for couple, that's what needs to be done currently. Our enemies are ferocious. Schools operated, or the prisons named as schools. So our guys are sort of a two birds one stone. They get Nazi enhanced, our guys in prison. Some of our guys perform recently for probable, recent for another for recent, some of recently for probable, some of our guys perform doesn't indicate therefore they're dominators or they're gonna punch this cameraman for no particular reason. They might punch, but they're fair, and they dislodge of having a Nazi elected president. At current, lots of the government officials are high salary statesmen for them, while those ones are the richest, are the nastiest, are the most ruthless. Recall from a proper set of quotes, or a quote from Black Ops 2. They have no fear, they have no conscience, they don't have conscience. They keep being hostile towards our guys. Lots of the modernity puppets, also a lot of death mark towards Trump. They have no choices. Their condition, who they are defined by a set of boundaries that are blamed to be from some Illuminatis when it says number-based Nazis. Although, usually, when someone is that pathetic or probably has flaws, it doesn't bother such. But once there are some entities that are dysfunctional, proper certain dysfunction, with quote mark citizens, then after these wage a clone war, also with late interference, probably Hitler also came a bit late. At this instance, turned out to for proper reason, for proper or this instance of, then it later grows exponentially, like some mega technology group. Technology grows exponentially. Tumor cancer also grows exponentially. It can be a fair reason, probably soon it will be probably a major clash. The enemies that spread negativity throughout the places. There's almost a negative version of everything because one can set an obscure standard for something. For example, I am not George Bush, therefore I failed at becoming George Bush and I couldn't perform. Right there. It could be on anything. Does it tell this? That's how much it plans to harm their targets. It's almost the worst situation possible. Suppose our guys started simply military arrest them, mass arrest. The stuff couldn't possibly get worse with the Nazis. Project if Hitler did won the war, it wouldn't have gotten remotely as bad. There'll be the Nazis instead it's gotten bad. If it still has all these outposts, also proper for personal palaces. Those Walmart also restaurants are their personal palaces. Doesn't have to greet anyone. Simply passive aggressive hostile, or while purposely sabotage and destroy, recently also destroy. They will be so treated as with a smile. Vastly of the issues, person's discontent gets blamed down to our guys, perhaps because our guys are reasonable. Also, they're probably underprotected for that to happen so much. Recently, for Papa also quite extensive frequent for Papa also more than. Suppose that a mention or almost any phrase, because we didn't indicate where was it, any sentence could there have this expanded, then there comes this passive-aggressive attack. Just because they don't have muscles so much doesn't indicate they're less aggressive. They're more aggressive than all of the ones that with the muscles. Why wouldn't something not get muscles? Getting muscles is sort of a result of being principled. Not so much of a decision they're made. Reason there for proper decision, reason there for proper another, for reason there for proper decision of reason there for proper their decision of. The Nazis preach this theory of as if it's done by one can make a choice to be a criminal. Rubbish. Reject that. Do a kick to it. Notice the word kick is used at the chat room. What a pleasurable expense of that could have been. Decent remark. These ones have more reason, has much treated better. But on the qualification of these assessment, it doesn't match to certain quality level, therefore something, but they're number based. Also, they already scored full points on vialism strength. These have plentiful spells and these tricks that are out there. Those are probably more of case with the Colemark space or probable of the thieves. What the Nazis reject about how dysfunctional it will be. The Nazis doesn't hate towards others to respect itself. It hates to perpetuate hate. A while, zombification recruitment right there. They often provide a way, the norm at America now, is to stare at a criminal and then go be fonder. How would it be like if this criminal continued to steal? Something similar to that, right? Then while if me or anywhere there comes a joke, probably a bit something that's possible to be comedy, then all of a sudden at a serious topic, then comes these laughter spread. In Asia simply laughed. Other guys have to follow along and laugh along with them. Mass gangsters, mass killers hiding its knives from Walmart at its terror compounds. That's what they are. Nutritious, delicious fiends yet to be deleted by Skynet. Their spells ain't decent enough. Bunch of freaks. It's gotten to a culture level contamination, guys. Mass infiltration, self-centeredness, giant school system that's operating on its own without any particular one driving. But these middle men keep operating and uses other person's children as their slaves. Sometimes waste their 2 years just to squeeze a possible $50. And a bunch of sick freaks without any predators. This is not training, this is a taunt. Suppose it keeps on doing, will that dominate more than Hitler does? It will probably take some Hitler 2 character that's equal to their level of fanaticness. Sort of similar to reasonable probable, almost matched to. Or probably matched to in terms of amount of fanaticness, probably that aggressive amount, probably their amount of probably another for probably fanatic. Those of at certain moments of reasonable or also probable of. The Nazis are above God, they are above Hitler, they evaluate on everyone. Said it as social notions, just ridiculous. That's not ridiculous, that's death threat. It's equivalent of our guys sending their way or holding an axe towards them. But then that way is banned, so the passive aggressive are utterly simply on aggression, doesn't work on principle, they are mentn'es. Most of them are crazy people. Recently of war, probable was recently of war. Crazy with hallmark people. None of them accomplish anything since the industrial recently of probable industrialization, where all these labor positions gone to. Then how come these still have these jobs? The choice of a language to this was the reason of was or job, and how they pronounce it is to combat towards livelihood. They're mentn'es. They're gonna get murdered. They're gonna get claimed by Russians. When we send these forces to this place, our guys being very tolerant towards us. Almost we accept different types of groups. The Nazis relentlessly still operate as Nazis after all these years of welfare. Suppose someone does a tally of the places they could go to, or how much is possession they have. They outnumber, also are more wealthy than the CEOs combined. They are, in the case of the probable what's called mass citizens, they're challengers, at least. Competitors against others, not friends. Sort of not a friendly competitor. Does it play the rule? It doesn't mention about play the rule, it simply scoffs you. And ridicule calls Hitler about, they might as well call Hitler, he's crazy, he needs medication. Is he broken? Or is it broken? Not that it will bravely mention this, but with some substitute, which current are vastly out there. Check out how much internet changed since 2002 year. It's utterly unbelievable, the amount of degeneracy oozes from all these criminals. Joker, lots of the villains compared are rather sane. Those ones are utterly insane. If scientists could figure out a new name for them, probably would be Homo to be jailed. Because also other was a reason they're probable first one. Reason they're probable for first of all probableness. It requires our guys to perform, write essays, produce essays, scripture, or also write. In order to get to somewhere where the mass amount of zombies simply slime around unstopped. They're untouchable, they're unstoppable, they wield the police as their Spartan shield. They're stronger than all the warriors. That's how the warrior tradition isn't even there. Do we notice a karate gym? They can't even afford to pay rent. And that's because their ability then by some sort of political, not mischievousness, but why is there such a word called mischievousness? It's not being a chief. Get that hideousness out of here before the Russian troops and the North Korean troops on our command get to this place. Besides dark matter to fight, there's probably also dark energy such as recentne. There is just negativity to fight against. We flip the version of all these negativity to activism, excitement. If it doesn't resolve to somewhere, then it didn't resolve to somewhere. If it does lead to somewhere, then avalas or recentne, then that's probably suitable. If some person similar to Morpheus or probably one of our guys are injured, underperformed, and therefore they're branded, therefore it becomes they're not good enough. But that's one of our guys. Well, those are terrorists. Terrorists got compliment. It's still from a terrorist. Recentne from terrorist commenting of cultural level of contamination, vicious around decay and delay. Reason for decay also delay. Gimmickry also mimicry. This English language itself being giant substitute. Lots of ones are anti-monarchs. They're anti-Europe. They're the Nazis post this new Europe, or the Nazism numerous urban regions as if a more developed Europe or Europe became this. Written there, also other descriptions. Also upon other descriptions, also another for reasons for also other descriptions. Reason there for also other descriptions. Then we got all these mayors. What are they doing? They've been set to a low level. A while doesn't notice them probably so much. Probably does notice them, but then the anesthetic spirits are quite vicious out there. It almost requires fate. Probably for a reason therefore. The major issue at current are to counter to Nazism, fixing the various issues, come up with a strategic plan, motivate. That sort of literature define sort of doesn't meet it. If the moment is there, like a concert, no, at a particular concert, it's like, guys, I'm singing, right? And this singing, we like it, although it sounds great, but not so much of this literalization format. Probably suitable to be addressed as a current of this. Nazis contaminant are as wide of a spectrum, or probably covering numerous of topics as the encyclopedia. Suppose someone has a name Bush, which has the reason there for recent has BS, also in the name. One could do that to sort of at least resistant towards Nazism, but one cannot do that and just that, or one doesn't counter to Nazism so much. By having a non-excellent person at, or probably also personnel at government official positions, it's literally denied of a much more performance one towards counter to reason therefore to or probably also or probably towards counter or probably counter towards toward Nazism. Reason therefore toward Nazism. Our guys almost have enormous adaptation skill to Nazis wonder that it couldn't be this much lower. Sort of a Nazi wonder. Despite all of that, consider how numerous of the comrades, how many of them were eliminated for doing what? the last of the defenders of Europe labeled as National Socialists, was a murderous dictator as Adolf Hitler? Or while the Churchill were rather accept to his ego, being his probably feminazi's boy, retaining to his successful and what this success is defined by all these as if they're Spider Queen, hijacker, recentne for Papua, hijackers of recentne for Papua also retreat for, as if Papua considerable as would be intended for Papua is formulated or Papua bit of Papua minorly original formulated for recentne for Papua also equivalent to their kidnappers. The feminazis programmed our guys. Remember the peekaboo, the game peekaboo? So they do a response, you have to respond. It's an English accent, very much will speak in this way, but it's not in this particular way because they are playing a roulette against you. They don't have to kill you, they just roulette you. There are many different ways. This whole tradition is flawed. No particular scientist studied why do we have this meat, because lots of the feminazis keep shuffling meat around. That's all these killers, reasonable Papua kidnappers, this reasonable Papua hijacker, versus reasonable Papua also recentne for Papua hijacker, recentne for Papua also recentne for Papua hijackers. Drug, hormone drug. If the person once they get drowsy will have certain attacks. Also they set it to a social standard where suppose something bad happens, a person has to front to extend as if they're going into some kind of eventual doom. It's gotten to this level of. The stuff is also probably also mentn'es, because we have numerous of the core features of use of their probable considerable generalization of that does something at begin as this and then later consume sort of become this does something that's not proper or cheat, etc. Or a reason to for proper not proper. So there's besides mixture there's also this proper dysfunction also mentn'es. Reason for proper this mentn'es involved. Reason for proper reason proper width of proper another reason for proper. This language itself is generic language. It's been taught to a mass amount of these elected brutes. Came from this monogamy. While the enemy system remove a lot of this battlefront. So instead of trenches, we have these silly stuff to toy around. Well, the enemy systems are quite vicious at level 10. They're number based. None of them. Suppose someone asks all the questions. What are the, for instance, geography questions or about materials, about minerals? None of them have a single clue. Then with the hideous smile, have no shame. They have no shame. Reason for they're shameless. Reason to for proper another pronunciation. Reason to for proper, or they has no shame, or reason for proper, or they're shameless. Movie stock cannot be satisfied at simply 100 million assets. They need 100 million cash because the number base they have together they have tremendous more. That's why it keeps happening. The TV turns into because that's where the cash is at. This stuff is probably tangled together, ready for someone to solve. But reason for proper, also reason for proper, it will be inevitable. Yes. While the variation are the thing that could be regarded as a spectrum of. The opposites doesn't have to state they will kill someone. They just laugh it off. They don't have a hijack corporation with military. They simply attend as employees and goes, oh, you're here, or last time we heard on the news you didn't succeed. Simply mentioning to the CEO, then the CEO notices he won't come tomorrow. If he does come and have an argument, he labeled as attacker with the Nazi divisions that the journalists already well prepared. This is a global takeover by this mass amount of Nazis. Recruit your pals. Get Russia's Vladimir Putin to here. Teach them the ways of the Cossacks. Also bring along Hitler also. Probable also. Evigato, Elaido, Mussolini. Yeah, that's the added to man international community. Oh, that's even more international for us. Not to therefore coverage for, or isn't there endorsed as a for described as if or also represent for another for probable endorse, probable recent, another for probable endorse. Whereas if they have no particular major personal flaws, recent or probable major, recent or probable moderate to major personal flaws, for probable also minor, but also recent for probable minor personal flaws, namely of a recent for probable, recent there for probable considerable of minor, this addiction of